Okay, so let's talk about Ilia Topuria. He's the absolute center of MMA news right now, and there's not a lot more to be talked about, so I'm going to make a video on him. I've been seeing a little bit of chatter online about basically debating how good Ilia really is. And listen, like we all know, he's amazing right now. You can't dispute that. What he's been doing is crazy. But yeah, I mean, he's been getting a lot of hype, a lot of views. I think what really started this conversation was the fact that he got ranked pound for pound #1. And so I want to go over that today. Basically, is that deserved? Does he deserve to be #1? So let's review here. So looking at his record, got into the UFC in 2020, late 2020. And yeah, he's had a pretty quick rise. Only 8 fights in the UFC. And he's already been champion of 2 weight divisions. I mean, that's insane. So, I mean, you know, the initial rise, he fought some good guys on the way up. Finished pretty much everyone, had a couple decisions, but yeah, pretty standard UFC rise. And the fact that he's still undefeated is impressive too. That just adds to it. Doesn't have a single loss. So now let's talk about the title fights here. So he fought Alex Volkanovski pretty soon after he got knocked out by Islam. Now, of course, it's still impressive. Volk was the best featherweight ever, debatedly, but you know, of this time. And yeah, he finished him in 2 rounds. Very, very impressive. It just sucks that Islam had to knock him out before that, because it would have been way more impressive in my opinion if that just never happened. You know, imagine if Volk had that first Islam fight where he almost won. A lot of people think he did win, and then he fought Topuria and Topuria knocked him out. That would have been multiple times more impressive than what actually happened. But I mean, you can't control that. It is what it is. He KO'd him. And then Max Holloway, KOing him is very impressive as well, even though Volk kind of destroyed him before that. But still, I mean, no one knocks out Holloway. That was the first time he ever got knocked out in his career. So that's very impressive. Again, you could say like there's something next to it, because you could say like it's not fully impressive because, you know, Max already got beat down by Volk. Topuria also beat Volk too. So that's what makes it impressive. And the fact that he finished Holloway is crazy. And yeah, I mean, I don't blame Ilia for going up, because if you beat Alex and Volk, the 2 guys that ruled the division for 10 years, there's nothing else left for you to do. So I'm glad he moved up. It's like, you know, let's just get the ball rolling. Like, don't fight Yair and all these other guys. I mean, you did the work you needed to, even though it's only 2 title defenses or 2 title fights. So then he goes up and knocks out Oliveira in his first fight at 155 to win his 2nd belt. Now, I hear a lot of people talking about this. You know, Oliveira's 35 years old. He has a lot of losses. Islam smoked him, and that was years ago. And I get that, you know, I can understand that. But this too, it's almost kind of like the Holloway thing. Probably not to the level, because Oliveira has been finished before and he has many losses. But still, to knock out Oliveira like that in the first round, easy, still very impressive. So yeah, I mean, what Ilia is doing is amazing. I feel like Oliveira is a guy that everybody loves. I love him. But when he fights guys that are the top of the top, it's hard to count on him. He beat Chandler, who that win didn't age very well. And remember, Chandler he was close to finishing him. Chandler hasn't done great, and he's not really a top level UFC guy, to be honest. Especially not anymore. But he beat Chandler, he beat Gaethje, and he beat Poirier. All very impressively, very quickly. But yeah, I mean, especially Chandler and Gaethje, just these guys have no submission grappling ability, really. The Poirier win was very impressive. But yeah, I've been a believer in Oliveira from his title reign. I mean, when he fought Chandler, I remember everybody was picking Chandler that fight. Charles was an underdog, and I picked Charles, and I also picked him to beat Gaethje, but I think I picked Poirier, to be honest, in their fight. But yeah, listen, I mean, Charles' reign has been impressive. Then he fights a guy like Islam, and we see what happens. He fights a guy like Topuria, we see what happens. He's not quite there, in my opinion. And he's 35 now. I love Oliveira, but I think sometimes we got to be a bit more realistic about his skill level. And we have to look at his past. He made drastic changes, and he got way better, and he became champion. He almost was a whole new fighter, but still, I mean, he's lost to a lot of guys, and when he fights the absolute top of the top guys, he's going to lose. So here's the thing about Topuria's record. So let's get to the debate here. He beat Volk. as I already said, after Islam knocked him out. On short notice, to be fair, but Islam beat Volk twice. Whether you want to say it or not, I know that fight was close. I was cheering for Volk. It probably was pretty biased, but I did think he won the fight at the time when I was watching it, but I put money on Volk and I was excited and I wanted to see him win. So completely biased there. If I watched it again, maybe I'd think different, but regardless, Islam beat Volk twice at 155 as well, which is probably a better, less depleted version of Volk, to be honest. So there's that. The Holloway fight, you can't take much away from that. It's very impressive. I think that win might honestly be more impressive than the Volk fight because of the Islam reason. And Oliveira, again, also a guy who Islam destroyed a couple of years ago too. Yeah, you can't help but to keep that in mind when you look at those wins. And so because of that, I think Islam is still number one. I think they jumped the gun a little bit. They just want to hype up Topuria a lot. I think number two is perfect for him. I don't think he's quite past Islam. What I really think they're doing though is maybe they're trying to make Islam a little mad because they want these two to fight each other. Obviously they're capitalizing off the recency bias hype of Topuria, the fact that he just knocked out Oliveira right now. And obviously, once Islam fights again, once he fights JDM, and if he wins, he's going to be number one, and they're going to go back and forth, and they're going to keep switching it based on whoever wins, and that's the perfect lineup for them two to fight each other. That's the perfect lineup for those two to eventually fight each other, which I think is what this whole thing's really about. Like, stats-wise, I don't think Topuria's number one. I think Islam's still higher than him. I don't think he's done quite enough. If we're being smart here, if the UFC's using their marketability, then this is very smart. Islam's going to see that, and he's going to be more inclined to fight him. And what I want is I just hope they keep winning. I hope they both have maybe, for Islam, maybe beat JDM. And he's 33, he's getting older. He probably wants to retire relatively soon. I think he said by 35 or something. So maybe 2 fights at welterweight, maybe 3, just because there's so many guys. But he has to fight quick. Topuria, same thing, fight 2 or 3 more guys at lightweight, and then come together and have the big super fight. I hope that happens. It's going to be tough, I think, because Islam's 33, Topuria's 28 right now. We know, like, Khabib and all the Dagestani guys, they're very strategic with their career. Knowing Islam and Khabib and that whole team, they might be hesitant to fight Topuria if, let's say, he's 36, 3 years down the line. Or maybe Islam might be 34 now, actually. Let's say he's 36, 37 down the line, if he even fights that long, which I don't know if he will. It's going to be risky for him to fight a 31-year-old Topuria, which is like absolute prime age. So that's what's tough. I mean, if the fight happened right now, with Islam being 33, 34, Topuria being 28, it's still pretty even, like, age-wise. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think Islam's still number one, definitely. His career, his wins hold up a lot better. He beat a lot of guys that Topuria beat before he beat them. So it's hard to say Topuria's number one, but again, I understand the hype. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think Topuria is number one, and let me know who you think would win if these two fought each other. Thank you.